You guys see the title, you know why you're here. This next story is a true story. It should be used as an example of what are the possibilities when dating, visiting, or traveling around the world. Watch or listen to this while you're driving, cleaning, on the train, at the gym, or just getting things done. Grab yourself a drink or a snack. This is a story you don't want to miss. Stay until the end. This one is a banger. Here it goes.
Man, I used to think my life was on track. Get good grades, land a decent job, climb the corporate ladder, the whole 9 yards. But honestly, I was just sleepwalking, trapped in this cubicle, staring at spreadsheets all day, dreaming of something, anything else. The only time I truly felt alive was on that trip to Thailand with Mark a few years back. We spent a month backpacking through the country, exploring ancient temples, getting lost in the vibrant markets, and stuffing ourselves with the most incredible food. We even made it to the islands for a few days, and that was a whole other level. The energy there was insane. Everyone was so friendly, the music was always pumping, and the beer was flowing like a river. We were supposed to stick around for Songkran, the water festival, but Mark had a flight back, and I chickened out. Looking back, that was probably the biggest what if of my life. I let fear of the unknown and the comfort of my admittedly pathetic paycheck hold me back. I could have been out there, embracing the chaos, getting soaked to the bone, and maybe even meeting the woman of my dreams. Instead, I went back to my cubicle and slowly let the dream fade away. Not gonna lie to you, I always had a bit of social anxiety growing up, but something shifted in me recently. I started noticing all the little things. The way my back ached every morning, the dread I felt every Sunday night, the constant gnawing feeling that I was wasting my life. I realized I couldn't spend the rest of my life staring at spreadsheets and dreaming of a life I wasn't living, and watching every influencer living the life that I wanted for myself. So, I did something crazy. I quit my job, cold turkey, no backup plan, no safety net. Well, I wasn't entirely sure yet, but I knew one thing for sure. I wasn't going back to that soul-crushing office. And that, my friends, is how I ended up here, staring out the window of my tiny Bangkok apartment. It's been a whirlwind of a month, finding a decent apartment, navigating the chaos of Bangkok traffic, and trying to figure out how to order food without resorting to mime. But honestly, it's the most exhilarating thing I've ever done. I wake up every morning feeling a sense of freedom I never knew existed. The city is a sensory overload. The sights, the sounds, the smells, the sheer energy of it all. I'm still figuring things out, still making mistakes, but I'm finally living. And this time, I'm not gonna miss Songkran. Update 2. So, remember how I said I had no backup plan? Yeah, that was a slight exaggeration. Turns out, the universe has a funny way of working things out. A few weeks after I quit my job, I stumbled upon this remote tech sales position through a friend. Let me tell you, the look on my parents' faces when I announced I was moving to Thailand was priceless. My mom practically had a heart attack. My dad just shook his head and mumbled something about finding myself. My friends, bless their souls, were mostly supportive, though I could see the concern in their eyes. "Are you sure this is a good idea, man?" they'd ask. "What about your career, your future? Don't you want to buy a property and settle down?" Well, let me tell you, things are going better than I could have ever imagined. The weather is incredible. The food is a constant adventure. I've discovered street food stalls that would make Gordon Ramsay weep with joy. And the people are incredible, so friendly, so welcoming. And let's talk about the dating scene. Holy moly. Forget about the dating apps back home. Here, it's like a whole new world. Beautiful women everywhere, all with these infectious smiles. I've been exploring the city, meeting people at rooftop bars, and of course, swiping away on Tinder. I've even started making friends with other expats, digital nomads, entrepreneurs, all living their best lives. The best part? I'm getting paid in US dollars. That means I can live like a king here. Rent is cheap, food is cheap, And let's be honest, the cost of living is a fraction of what it is back home. I'm seriously considering buying a motorbike, maybe even investing in a little beachfront property. Seriously, if you're even remotely considering a career change, I highly recommend looking into remote work. It's life-changing. You can live anywhere in the world, work on your own terms, and finally escape the rat race. Life in Thailand? It's pretty damn good right now. Update 3. My expat friends had been raving about Songkran and Chiang Mai. Apparently, it's a whole different level of crazy compared to Bangkok. So, a group of us decided to make the trip up north. I figured, why not? It was the perfect opportunity to experience this legendary festival and maybe even meet some new people. Before I left Bangkok, I switched my Tinder location to Chiang Mai. Gotta maximize my chances, right? Turns out it was a stroke of genius. That's where I met Ying. We matched on Tinder, and after a few flirty messages, we decided to meet at the Angkayo Reservoir near Chiang Mai University. It was a beautiful spot, overlooking the water, with the sun starting to set. It was super romantic. Ying was really attractive, just my type. We talked for hours about everything and nothing, and the time just flew by. There was an instant connection. I could tell she liked me. There was no playing hard to get. Ying wore her emotions on her sleeve. I invited her to join my friends and I for the Songkran celebrations. At first she hesitated, but I was persistent, and I'm so glad I was. Songkran in Chiang Mai was everything I'd imagined and more. Water fights erupted everywhere. Music blasted from every corner. People were laughing, dancing, and embracing the sheer joy of the moment. Ying went from this innocent introvert to a crazy woman splashing everyone that crossed her path. I spent the entire day chasing her through the streets, soaked to the bone and laughing until my sides ached. That night, I'll let you guess what went down, and all I can say is, looks can be deceiving. She was up for anything I wanted to do, and I mean anything. Update 4. After Songkran, I flew back to Bangkok, buzzing with the memories of that incredible week. Ying was already a constant presence in my mind. We talked every day, video calls stretching into the late hours of the night. She even started coming to visit me in Bangkok every other weekend on the overnight train, even though I offered to pay for her flight. Let me tell you, this girl is amazing. Not only is she beautiful and fun, but she's also incredibly kind and caring. She'd show up with homemade Thai dishes, enough to feed an army. She'd help me clean the apartment, even though I insisted I could do it myself. She'd listen patiently to my work rants and offer words of encouragement. Honestly, it felt like I was living with any man's dream wife. She treated me like a king, like someone she wanted to take care of. It was a feeling I'd never experienced before, dating the feminist woke women back home in the States. A few months in, I knew I had to tell my family and friends back home about her. I knew they were going to have questions, maybe even some reservations, but I couldn't keep Ying a secret any longer. She passed all of my tests and I didn't see any red flags. But I also knew that Ying was unlike anything they'd ever imagined. She was smart, independent, and incredibly strong. She was the kind of woman any man would be lucky to have. I was falling fast, and I knew with a certainty that surprised even me that I want to spend the rest of my life with her. Update 5. Getting the paperwork ready for Ying to come to the US was a bit of a hassle, but it was all worth it in the end. I was so nervous to introduce her to my family and friends, but I knew they would love her as much as I did. When we finally arrived, I could tell Ying was a little overwhelmed by the whole experience. My family had thrown a huge welcome home party for me, and there were people everywhere. After a few weird questions from some of my family like, "Is she a ladyboy?" which I laughed off. But as soon as we started talking, it was like she'd always been a part of the family. After a few days, I knew it was time to do it. I had been planning this moment for weeks and I wanted it to be perfect. The day of the surprise proposal, I gathered everyone in the backyard. I told them how much I loved Thailand, how much I loved my new life, and how much I loved the woman standing beside me. As I spoke, I could see Ying's eyes welling up with tears. Then, I got down on one knee. "Ying, you've changed my life in ways I never thought possible. You've brought so much joy and happiness into my world. Will you do me the honor of becoming my wife? All my friends and family started cheering as Ying nodded, tears streaming down her face. She threw her arms around me, and we kissed amidst the confetti and laughter. It was the happiest moment of my life. Update 6. As Ying and I flew back to Thailand, we were both still buzzing from the excitement, and we couldn't wait to start planning our wedding. I envisioned a traditional Thai ceremony, complete with vibrant colors, delicious food, and maybe even a live band playing traditional Thai music. Ying was frugal and suggested we keep it simple, maybe a small gathering on the beach. But life, as it often does, had other plans. A few weeks later, Ying missed her period. We took a pregnancy test, and to our amazement, it came back positive. We were going to be parents. I was overwhelmed with a mix of emotions: joy, fear, excitement, and a touch of disbelief. I looked at Ying. Her eyes were as shocked as I was. We both weren't ready yet to become parents, but we were both happy. We spent the next few weeks thinking of baby names, picturing what our white Asian baby would look like. And to anyone out there who's ever doubted the potential of meeting an amazing woman in Thailand, I say this: don't listen to the stereotypes. Get out of the tourist traps. Explore the real Thailand, and you might just find the love of your life.
Make sure to check out my previous video right over here. And send over a story of your own that you'd like to be featured in the next video. Subscribe, share, like, and comment. My name's Roberto, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.